This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Circa Barakeel, Remy Asalia, Saray Cypher, Omega Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Arcadia Lunashine, Dramavian, Nina Grimstarter, Casey Schaefer, Dimos, Lily Black, Hans Grenade, Sapa Chakwatol, Faris Jantoru, Cletus Oreo, Quick Levin, Luke Leonatrell, Stella Bell, Ceres, Icy Lee, Lyria Rain, Pamela Isley, Umbral Wind, Naive Arino, Celeste Raskris, Elenriel Maximus, Edwin, Bob CC, Fabs and Voidworm, Raimi Maverick, Kodrid No, Mira Miri, Winebow Brood, Babe Arbalay, Kaiser Regina, Uzora Akari, AJ Brainswordson, Suno Shikano, Yowie Wowie, Cheshire Saltiri, Gideon Ura, and Buster Gearhold. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 214. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Whiston and Rollo Dez.
I'm not quiet.
That's very good. Very, very good. It is September 26th.
Yes.
Not the most spectacular week. But we have some stuff for you. There's a new interview by MassivelyOP with Yoshi-P about patch 5.3, but also speculating about new villains.
Massively Yoshi-P.
Got him. Maybe let's not. Live letter LX, also known as, for those who are good at Roman numerals,
60.
I can never remember what L is. And we'll be reading Mogmail. Sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Live letter 60. We have a date. We'll speculate a little about what we're gonna hear and see during that live letter. We'll also read Mogmail, speakersxiv.com/Mogmail. I'm sorry about the slow website now. I know, continuous problem. I'm looking into it. Stay tuned for the post-show. Questions from the Syndicate. We'll be reading that. More questions, please, next week.
Okay.
Syndicate! More questions! All right, so stay tuned for that. Channel updates. Must mention that the website has a few new categories. And I'll also explain why there was a category there which is not there anymore. The idea originally was to have like a Patreon page where you could access the website, or you could go to the website and access the archives for everything that's been published on Patreon. Unfortunately, that didn't work, so I had to remove that. There is the Roar archives, which currently is locked for patrons only, senior. That's just while I'm building this. I don't know if I'll unlock it when it's finished. Right now, there's 4 articles in there. I have to build them all from scratch, so it's going to take a while. But it's essentially everything that's been covered in the previous episodes with photos, and I'm planning to put like more map data and shit in there. It'll look good when it's done, but it's going to take a while. SoR archives, sort of the same thing, where you're getting more like in-depth shit from the SoR episodes. It's like the maps and more detailed pictures and shit. And Tales of a Realm, which is very interesting because it's a project that's nowhere near finished, but whatever has already been released for patrons is available on that as well.
Oh. Bringing that back.
Yes. So I think the audio story is there. Some of the plot is there, I think.
Is it?
If you're a patron, you can check it, I guess. But I can't remember if that's there as well. I think it is, actually. But that one's definitely locked behind Patreon. Yes. Just wanted to mention that, because people have been wondering about that. But don't expect anything for Tales of a Realm if you're like, the reason I'm bringing this up is because those sections are very much not done. So I wouldn't want you to pledge just to access like Tales of a Realm, because you're going to get very disappointed. I wish I could have like a landing page. I probably can. Or maybe just turn off. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. Just, yeah, this is a warning. Okay. Oh, I see. Something's been added here. All right. Well, if you missed our 16 reveal trailer reaction, that is now available on our dump, on our video dump channel, Speaker's Place. Go check that out. I'm sure there's a link somewhere on our. Does anything link to Speaker's Place anywhere? I don't know.
I don't. You don't even have it on the Twitch page, do you?
No. I don't know how you would
even
find it, but
a command for it.
Here you go.
I think is that it? Yeah, we don't have a command for it. There it is. You can go there. Now I have to put it in the description for the video. It's in the description. All right. What have we done this week? Oh, before we move on, about that channel specifically, I'm talking to like 3 people. But if you've been... I'm sorry about the sudden, abrupt gap in uploads for the... What playthrough are they on now?
Resident
Evil 3. It's back now, as you've probably noticed.
Oh, and Final Fantasy VII Remake?
7 again. Yeah. That one's queued up. It'll be that's Sundays. Resident Evil, Thursdays. 7 on Sundays. It's fine now. It's back again. All right. What have we done this week in 14? I'll flip this command strip, and if the Velcro points up, it's Georgi, and if the no longer sticky part with the hair on it is up, it's Rollo. Okay.
Okay. You could have used the coin, but
we're using a command strip.
Who has coins these days?
Exactly.
I have coins right here on my.
But we have command strips. That's the currency of the future, Rollo. All right, here we go.
Ahead.
Flipped beautifully. I'll do it again. Ooh, it's like playing the Pokemon card game in my school days. Okay, well, it's the one with the hair. So that's Rollo. Rollo, what have you done in 14 this week?
I'm almost got all my crafters to 80. I've been doing lots of that. I just have Goldsmith at 77. And then I have Alchemist and Culinarian at like 65 or 60 or something like that. I don't remember. So that's been taken off my life. I hate crafting. It's still not fun. I hate doing the crafting quest. I hate doing them. I despise them.
Why? They're so easy.
Only past Stormblood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Stormblood and Shadowbringers ones because like they're really easy.
Oh, they're amazing. I love it. I love them. But going back and doing older Realm Reborn ones, I'm like, they have like a level 40 I just forgot to do. Fucking miserable. I hate it. I will go back and maybe read the plot later for them, but I've just been so frustrated digging through all of them just to get fucking muscle memory. Fucking hate it.
Yeah?
So I've been doing that. What else have I been doing? I've been thinking about trying to save up to upgrade the FC house from a medium to a mansion.
Oh God, you're gonna participate in the housing war?
Maybe. I've been selling a lot of stuff and making a little bit of money. So if you're buying from my retainer, big strong. So thanks.
He does live on a less popular server than you, Likio.
True. So you actually have a
Zalera's
chance.
been popping a little bit though.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, Zalera has been increasing in population recently.
Because of you, Rolo.
No, I was there when it was tiny.
He was.
And then the server mergers happened and ruined everything.
Yeah.
It ruined the neighborhood.
It was a coin flip. Originally, Zalera and Goblin were similar in size, and yet everyone decided to move to Zalera, and I still have all the space in the world.
It should have been Goblin.
No, it's good that it wasn't Goblin.
What else have I been doing? Oh, I did. I don't know. We haven't talked about custom deliveries, but I finished the Dragon one.
What did you think?
Elto.
Yeah,
Elto. It was cool seeing what a dragon could be like when they're not busy trying to murder things. They get little dragon hands and little.
Yeah.
It's a very cute mount. I like it.
Yeah.
It explains a bit more.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go first.
I was just saying the mountain looks nice too. I really like it.
Yeah.
Cool. It explains a bit more of how dragons could seemingly be involved in the crafting of the churning mists.
Yes.
It was never really explained before.
Yeah.
I think I did one more thing. Oh, I've been getting really lucky with the fucking Koopa of Fortune shit. I don't know. I mean, it's only 4 spaces, but I've gotten like the Hres Veilguard chest like 4 times now.
Oh my god.
It's pretty.
You can sell those for quite a bit, can't you?
Yeah, I've been selling those. They sell for like 300k each.
Nice.
So I claimed 1 and I was like, ugh, easy money. I also got I got like 4 of the little new Gala Kitten mount too. I just sold those too.
Nice.
The new one?
Yeah.
They're cute. Okay. Georgi?
I've done very little this week. I did a little bit of crafting, Ishgard restoration crafting with some of my leftover mats from when I was trying to rank as a botanist. Not that it mattered because I didn't rank as well, I did, but it's not what I'm getting my reward for. Other than that, I think I've even had a chance to really level Dark Knight this week. I haven't been up to that much this week.
Okay. I haven't done. I'm just still pushing Samurai. I'm 76. I'm guessing.
Nice.
I'm guessing I'm
remember
76.
to use Hingabanga?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
what did you call it?
Hingabanga.
Hingabanga.
Yeah.
Hikenbana.
Yeah, and make yo sushi. You got to use that too.
Yeah. All of those. Someone in the comments are not going to understand that this is a joke. And they're going to... This is a joke, comment section.
It's hard to remember. It's all Japanese stuff. I can't remember the actual skill. I just know it is make yo sushi.
All right. Yeah, other than that, I haven't done much else. It's just leveling for me. It's so... Like, I can't do anything now other than leveling Samurai because I have 2 classes left. It's that class, and then there's Machinist. And then I'm done.
Then you get the Amara mount. Then you're
I don't really care about the Amara mount. I just want to be done.
Oh.
Because last time, from Heavensward to Stormblood... No, from A Realm Reborn to Heavensward, I was all 50. But then... from Heavensward to Stormblood, I hadn't managed to get all of them to 60. Like, I remember... wait.
I thought it was only Dragoon.
Yes, Dragoon. Dragoon was like 54. And
it's so ironic, given the Heavensward expansion's title class.
Yeah. And so from so now I want to be done, because I remember the day before Stormblood came out, I was trying so hard to get all the... It was horrible, and I didn't make it. But now, I can be done before 5.4?
How have you not capped out everything in this rate with how much we streamed just doing stuff?
It's a lot of EXP you need.
I mean, it is, but that's why I leveled a lot of jobs for my alt character. did stream stuff, and then it was like, oh, I got things to 70 without realizing it even.
I guess it's because sometimes I just don't bring leveling classes. I just go with something else. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, there's true. The boss just coming up, and by the way, just as a disclaimer, all of my classes are at 70 now.
Okay.
So I mean minimum. So I have one class at 76 and one at 70. So I'm ready for Balsija. I need to level it one level, I guess, to get him in Balsija, I think, for Machinist. All right. We need to move on. Let's jump into recent events.
Yes.
And in recent events, Shadowbringers EP2 has ranked number 6 in the Japanese or in the Japan billboards. That's
Couldn't beat 24H though by 17.
No, unfortunately not. Also couldn't beat Stray Sheep, and No Good, which you would think it would beat because
I like how you skipped the one that was in Japanese.
yeah.
You know what? Let's try then. Is it O?
All right, read it then.
O.
Go on, Rollo.
E.
I only know Tori and Inu.
Oishi. Pa.
No.
Suta. No. Okay, fine.
Oh, is it part? I can't tell. It's very
I wonder
small.
why I skipped it. What weird that I skipped that one, huh? All right, moving on from this is irrelevant. We're
Well,
on.
they can't even say it.
No.
Oh, that's right. No help.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. The EP is number 6 on the Japan billboards. Congratulations to Soken, I guess. It's pretty good. And it also looks like, I mean, there's no other video game album on here. What?
I think it translates to "I like to eat delicious pasta." By the way.
What? Oh. Oh. I want to listen to that album.
Okay. Well, that album art does not reflect the name of the song, I must say.
No.
Well, that's interesting. That's what's going on in Japan right now. All right. Moving on.
So I was right. I was on the right track.
Yes,
You were on the right track.
Yes, you were. All right. There's time for our weekly merch report. There's
Yay!
There's a new Taito Alphino statue that's been released. It's a cute little statue with a little carbuncle. I'll do the
Are
Yoshi-P.
the Taito ones prize figures, right?
Yeah, they're prize figures.
Yes.
Okay, so they're dirt cheap.
Yes. Oh, this.
If you can, if you're able to, if you can't win them, you can normally get them pretty cheap at like secondhand stores in Japan, or get them imported.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're like usually like $15 at most.
Mm-hmm. But if you're good, you can get them in one.
Yes.
Like me.
I'm bad at crane games. They cheat.
Alice statue.
Maybe you should just get good.
An Alice statue will be announced. Sorry, has been announced for March 2021. Speaking of merch, there's been there's new merchandise you can pre-order now, following TGS. Well, anyway, yeah, we'll get to it. But first, Fat Cat,
$210 US.
Yeah,
20. Sorry,
$219.99 for a giant cushion Fat Cat.
So it's quite big, but it's not as big as I thought it was.
No. We did laugh at there's a very funny picture of the cushion in use, with like this lady sitting on the cushion on the fat cat reading a book, in like a very what you think is like at first glance you think classy home, but then you start to look. And it's very clear they're in like a storage unit or something, and then they've just like tried to like hastily make it look like a nice little warm home. But there's like painting on the ground, and there's like this weird like almost looks like I don't know the walls that you see in storage units. It's weird. But yeah, $219, $220. There's also
Why buy a PS5? You can have
When you can buy 2 fat cats.
that's
two
true.
of them.
That's
One for each cheek.
you need to have quite a gap between your cheeks if you are gonna have one for each cheek.
You
So
underestimate.
It just when I put it in that context, I was just thinking if I had 2 of these, I could make a bed. And then I think about the fact that my bed is worth about the same as one of these.
Yeah. There's also a gaming mouse pad.
Oh, it's
Your
ugly.
thought- yeah.
It kind of looks like an auto-generated one on Amazon, you know, where they just take a piece of art and then they put it because it's. I guess I'll try it. I'll try and link this. Well,
I don't know if you can.
It's just a mouse pad, and it has like the Shadowbringers art with like the main, like the Scions and like Reen, you know that art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because the art wasn't originally made for like such a wide canvas. It's just a square with like black sides, and then there's the Shadowbringers logo on the bottom left, and it's like, I mean, it could be
effort.
worse.
Low
It's
effort.
just-
Low effort. Also, I hate that it's not even centered.
Oh
Is it
my
not?
god, you're right. You see that there's
It
more
says that
space on the left because they had to fit the logo in?
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's very
god.
ugly.
This beautiful piece of art can be yours for a mere $35 US. Mwah!
Which is quite cheap for a gaming mouse pad. But
Depends. We know nothing about the quality. Well, we've already seen the visual quality of this mouse pad.
I expect the quality to be bad.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's cheap for a gaming mouse pad, but I feel as if you should spend more money and get one that's actually good.
Yeah. There's also a jigsaw puzzle, which is decent.
This is exciting.
It doesn't
It's like a 1,000-piece jigsaw
Oh,
puzzle.
is it?
Would have been nicer if
Ah.
we got it earlier.
Okay.
I hate jigsaw puzzles. I mean, puzzles,
Yeah.
not puzzles.
It is the
I cry puddles when I do them.
It is the original Shadowbringers expansion art with all the people in one. You know the one where we used to speculate if the Exarch was Graha. Yeah. So
Or a
that's-
woman.
Or a woman. Yes. $36. So like $2 more than that amazing mouse pad. Paisa Patissier plushie.
Cute.
Very
I would-
cute.
I would recommend it to people if they like
It
plushies.
is. It is very cute. It's a it's a paisa with a not a chef's hat. It's a baker's hat, I suppose. It costs the same as the mouse pad.
I'd rather have the plushie.
Yeah, I think the plushie is worth more. Gives you more bang for your buck than the fucking mouse pad.
And we got the rest of the stuff.
Well, before
Lovely,
I
beautiful.
just want to stay away from that as long as possible. I just want to also mention that there's an
Why are
item
you
code.
so against it?
There is an item code for the stuffed Paisa Patissier in-game furnishing as well. That comes with this one. So it's even more worth. What's not worth is the rest that they dumped on here. You already know how I feel about the acrylic stands. I'm not so against the original one now because
Really?
because of this. This made me like them more, the original ones. They've essentially taken the old job artwork, slapped it on a thin piece of just acrylic, and sold it. That's what they're doing.
I mean, someone might like them, you know.
Someone might like anything. Like, someone might like the mouse pad, Rollo. So yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
if people are gonna buy them, why not give them that chance?
Exactly.
Someone should send Luke Heel the little white mage one. It's the cheapest one, and he's a white
Yeah.
mage.
That is the
Lala.
funny part. They are actually priced like according to their size.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Paladin, which is a Rogadin, is, I think it's the most expensive one. No, it's one of the most expensive.
It's the most
ones.
It's the most expensive they get. They cap out at $16.99.
$16.99 for Paladin, while the White Mage, portrayed by a Lalafell, $9.99.
A deal.
It's the only Lalafell there, which it shocks me in retrospect. I thought there was one more.
I actually kind of really like the Blue Mage one, just because that Blue Mage art looks really cool. Because there's like the
I agree. It has
monsters
that
in the
thing
bottom
happening in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Also
more...
one of the most expensive ones, but
Yeah.
it's $17.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that as much. I will say I'm surprised the Bard one is $15.99 because I feel like it covers just as much as the White Mage one because she's like sitting down.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was looking at that. I'm shocked that it's as cheap as expensive as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
But,
it's based
I don't
more
know.
on color than it is size.
Oh, maybe that could be.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I would
based on
imagine
this-
it's a combination of the two. Also, with the Bard one, you're paying for that Makode tax.
That's true.
Code tax.
Yeah.
Look, there's box art Black Mage too. No one ever talks about how Black Mage was on the original box art for Realm Reborn.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He was the official job of a Realm Reborn. Don't forget that.
That's true.
No,
he
wasn't.
Well, he wasn't official, but he was. There was a Black Mage in like all the promo art. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
I think it was North America that had the Black Mage art, I think.
They had him here up here in Europe too.
Oh, okay.
Even though this one was also the Rogadin Paladin was also
That I've never seen before. This is like you putting that up is the first time I've ever seen that.
Really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. There was the Paladin and the Black Mage here. Okay. Also, trading card game for Shadowbringers starter sets. 2 players starter set.
It's pretty cheap for 2 decks of a card game.
What is this card game? Is it like
That's an excellent question, Rollo. I wanted to know the exact same thing. How is this Final Fantasy card game played? Because it's not exclusive to 14.
yeah,
we
is
not
this that
covered
one
this
Final
before?
Fantasy?
Oh, the trading card game?
I remember something vaguely.
We've never talked about this in depth because I don't really care at all. We don't.
Okay.
There's nothing. It's nothing to care. I don't think anyone really cares about this game. But
Oh, it's a Magic clone. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Whatever.
I remember there was like E3 or something a couple of years ago where we were so excited for Square Enix's like press event, and then they just talked about the trading card game for like 45 minutes. I don't remember if anyone remembers that. It was like staged. It was scripted, and it was awkward. It was horrible. It's one of the worst presentations they've ever done, and that's all I remember about the trading card game. Right. What was the price, Gary? Do you know what the price for it is?
It doesn't list it here. I think it was $35.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. If there's anyone out there that play the Final Fantasy trading card game, you can get a 2-player starter set for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, play with your friend.
Trick them into playing a card game with you.
Oh yeah, that's
Why
true.
do you
It's a
always have
2-player.
to say it as trick your friends into doing things with you?
Because
That's how-
sometimes your friends aren't willing, and you have to bend their will with shenanigans.
See, I don't call it tricking them. When I force my friends to participate in my quizzes, I just call it forcing them to participate in my quizzes.
I trick them because they end up liking it. because they're being tricked.
Well, I think I have to force them because they didn't end up liking it.
Okay. Letter from the producer live, part 60. 60.
Whoa.
It's been 60
what happened when we
live
hit
letters.
69?
Oh, fuck. Literally.
Isn't it part 60, part 1?
Part 60. Oh, it's going to be 60 part 1. Well, they started doing the parts thing, so now the number really doesn't...
Boo.
Yeah, boo. We have a date for it. It's October 9th. That is on a Friday. 11 GMT, noon BST, 1 p.m. Central European Time. What is it in American time?
That's like...
I want to. It's early in the
5 a.m.?
morning. Yeah.
5 a.m. Eastern?
7. What? Okay. 7 a.m. means nothing if we don't know time zones when.
It's early. Actually, I think Wynn's right. I think it's 7 a.m.
Okay,
Eastern.
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
So-
Eastern, and then
so
it'd be like
just-
5. It'd be like 4 a.m. Pacific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a call on Discord in the morning, and I'll try and wake.
At 5 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Yes.
7 a.m. for him, Nikhil.
Oh,
he
7.
should be awake by then.
7.
No, I won't.
You won't.
I know you won't be.
Well, we'll see.
Normal people are.
Yeah, we'll
Fuck
cover
no.
it. We'll cover it, of course, on the Twitch channel. So make sure you catch that. Show details. It'll be patch 5.4 preview part 1 with special guest UI designer Kei Odagiri. And you can submit questions. There's a Q&A session, so there's a thread on the official forums where you can submit questions for the UI designer Kei Odagiri. Kei Odagiri is the man behind features such as the ever-popular group pose and duty recorder. And now is your chance to ask him all your burning questions related to the game's UI. You can ask him, Rollo, if he's going to implement the sweaty filter.
You know what? I thought for a moment you might remember the one request I actually had from the UI designer, but I guess not. You had to go with the joke one, Lucio.
Wait, what was the real one?
I've said it like a few times. I really want a rangefinder for skills.
Oh,
So you just know range when you
Right.
you just see it.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
That's my one
Can we
request.
Yeah. Someone asked that on Rollo's
I
behalf.
don't want to just ignore the fact that they refer to the duty recorder as ever popular.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Is it
Yeah.
is it actually useful for people who are like doing high level content?
No,
writing,
because they only get access to it like after 4 months after it was relevant.
I also think it used to be more important back when it had all before they stripped of it all its features because it was too difficult
Yeah.
to keep up to date.
It's really weird. Someone should ask what do you want us to use this for? What is its purpose in the game?
Did you remember to unlock it, by the way? It's in Rauger's Reach, I think.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was in Mordona.
Is it? You know what? You're probably right. It is more
Yeah, probably.
because they don't
It's
want
been
to put
so
it in
long.
expansion areas.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure you submit questions there. Someone please ask for the sweat. Just for
Please.
Rollo's sake and the
For
range
me.
thing. All right. That's I think that's it for recent events.
All right.
Looking forward to the live letter. That's not next week. It's the week after. It's in 2 weeks. Right. Main story. So there's been an interview with Naoki Yoshida by MassivelyOP. Normally, I would have had a link. I don't even know where that link would be right now.
Maybe I'll try and grab it. Hold on.
Oofta. All right. Well, hopefully Rollo will find it. And if you're watching on demand, it will be in the description. Final Fantasy XIV's Naoki Yoshida on home development, future villains, and the big changes in patch 5.3. The story of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers got a pretty explosive send-off in patch 5.3, which brought several major plot lines to their conclusion and set up the next portion of the game's ongoing story. It was major. It was epic. And it was big enough that a lot of players were still left somewhat staggered even a month later, due in no small part to this being the first time in ages when a patch for the game was delayed in some significant fashion as a result of the global pandemic. Oh, there it is. Nice. Prior to the reveal of Final Fantasy XVI, we had a chance to sit down with producer and director Naoki Yoshida to talk about the delays of working from home, the design choices made for the patch, and some possibilities for future content. Okay. If you're curious to learn more about upcoming Monk changes or the design process for the Nier Automata raid series, you must needs read on. Fuck.
Thank you, Elliot.
There may be some minor spoilers for those who have not finished the patch, however. So, spoiler warning. Everyone here. We don't need that here. How different was the process of developing this patch due to work from home restrictions and the challenges of the global pandemic? I'm so tired of this, because we've heard this in so many different variations. Maybe there's something new this time. Yoshi-P says, hands down, the most challenging part of this was setting up the development environment for each of our team members. I think it would have been easier if we were working on a standalone game that didn't require access to a number of servers, but it's imperative for the development of 14 to utilize these servers. Not everything can be done on just the game client itself, so the biggest challenge for us was how to set up and work with a large-scale development server, local servers, on which team members would work, and the game client setup from a work-from-home situation. Once the environment was set up and we smoothed out any bumps through initial testing, there wasn't much of a difference in our production process itself. However, as you can imagine, communication between the developers shifted to an entirely online setting, and section leaders had to be constantly available for someone to reach out to them online. It was pretty tough for them, because more time had to be allocated to manage this communication change. While this is still the case now, they have implemented processes that mesh with the work from home environment, like defining off-work hours and setting up times to answer questions, which has helped a lot. Okay.
So an interesting...
Yeah?
Oh, you go first, sorry.
No, I have nothing. Go on.
Okay. Something that I hadn't really considered as a result of the working from home thing in Japan is, in Japan, it's pretty standard work etiquette that you don't leave work until your superior has left work. Mm-hmm. However, that doesn't exist when they're working from home. So I'm curious as to when they actually define the cutoff point for some people now.
Yeah.
That sounds like a miserable workplace.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
Japanese work culture is horrible.
Oh.
Maybe the boss has like a button he can press, and when he's at work, there's a light that's on, and when he presses it, it turns off, and they're like, okay, boss is gone.
A light on what?
Everyone has a light on their wall at home. The boss light.
I got it. What they do is they're in a Discord server or maybe even a Slack if they want to pretend to be professional.
Oof.
And then you sit in the voice channel while you're working, right? And then the boss is there also in the voice channel. And you guys don't have to talk. You're just in there. Uh-huh. And then when you're done, when the boss leaves the voice call, that's when you can leave.
That's even worse because you're not constantly in vocal range of your boss every day at work.
Can't mutter under your breath now, can you? Get that word done.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, now we're actually... I feel like I am very... There we go. With 5.3 having brought a major narrative arc running since 2.0 to a close, is there any worry about the game running out of large-scope villains to pit against the player? Yoshida says, not at all. Actually, the Hydaelyn and Zodiac story arc that has been ongoing since the original 14, 1.0, still hasn't fully come to a close. There are few mysteries. All the way around. There are a few big mysteries that need to be resolved. Please do not worry. Smiley face.
No, enunciate it more. Please do not worry. Once it has a question mark at the end.
He does a-
and the little
he does a-
smiley.
He does the tongue emoji. There's even an interviewer's note. Yes, that smiley was there from Yoshida.
It was an email interview, right? I think.
Yes.
I would assume so. I don't know. I don't imagine Yoshida made that face if it was a voiced one.
What was the identity of the final trial boss for the 5.3 story decided upon? When? What is wrong with me? When was the identity of the final trial boss for the 5.3 story decided upon? Was this always the plan, or did plans change? Yoshida says, we decided that almost immediately after the Shadowbringers expansion finished development, it was interesting because we decided Elidibus's fate. At the same time, we decided upon the trial boss. This was actually a very unique situation because generally the scenario is solidified in advance, so in most cases we will have already determined who the player will be fighting and why they are fighting by the time we plan for the gameplay content. We never improvise when we are creating bosses, which is only natural given how many bosses in 14 are so closely intertwined with the story. Yeah, that makes sense.
It still almost hits you out of like left field almost. That's a little bit. I feel like.
Well, in the form that he is, especially, I guess.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I get it, and I think it's good, but it's definitely weird being like at the start of the patch. Here's a very detailed picture of the Warrior of Light.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it should have been there, like, I don't know, earlier in Shadowbringers.
Yeah, that's true. It is like the foreshadowing they're trying to do there is like a little obvious. Aside from the ongoing Dwarf storyline and the Yorha raids / Eden series, are there plans to return to the first for future stories? That's an interesting question because, you'd assume the first is going to be less relevant now that we're sort of done with this expansion. Yoshida says, there might be, and there might not be.
Thank you. Great answer.
I'm a bit worried that if I carelessly say something specific here, that it might come back to haunt us down the line. And I also want to leave room for everyone to speculate on what could happen. I think it would be weird for me to discuss something here at this stage. Laughs.
Fair. Did he type laugh?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
because
it's an email into you, so...
He types laugh.
Well, I'm assuming
he probably
Koji Fox
used
or
the
someone.
Japanese emote for it.
He used woo 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 woo.
Yeah, I was thinking woo woo.
Yeah. The new Alliance raid offers some challenging different ways of splitting up parties and different mechanics to take on. What was the design process for coming up with these new mechanics? A good example of the novel mechanics would be the variable numbers of players in circles during the third boss, or the hallway rush before the last boss. The variable numbers in players in circles, which is that a thing?
In the mechanic for the third boss, where everyone has to stand in the circles, the second time it does it, it can be anywhere from 1 to 5 people being required to stand in the circles.
Yeah.
It's not a new mechanic though, because that existed as far back as turn 6 of Alexander.
Yeah. Oh no, we've become the actually podcast.
No, we've done it.
We've done it.
Repeat.
Okay, Yoshi-P says, we've never had any specific requests from Yoko Taro or the Nier team staff where they tell us, make this mechanic, do this. Generally speaking, the 14 content design team takes the proposed plot we receive from Yoko Taro and the Nier team, think about what bosses should be included based on it, and also brainstorm the battle mechanics for these bosses. No matter the content being worked on, the content team always places importance on how to showcase both the story and the characters through the gameplay. The theme for this crossover raid is of course Nier, and our team members played through Nier Automata, using that experience as a base in coming up with the gameplay elements for Final Fantasy XIV. I believe this opportunity for the team To think in ways not typical to 14 development is one of the positive aspects of doing crossover content. The Puppets Bunker also has a lot of Easter eggs that I'm sure would bring a smile to fans of Nier and probably Yoko Taro too. We hope all our players are looking forward to the next installment.
Yes.
Yes?
You think they're on the clock when they have to play Automata? Like, I would be like, have to clock into your shift and be like, all right, Yoshi-P says you have to finish Automata, so that's your...
I don't know.
Right?
I feel like they would have to, right? They kind of like... Yeah.
Like, it'd be weird if your boss just, like, gave you a copy of a game. Like, okay, play this at home.
You're getting homework from Yoshi-P? I could do that, I guess, but... Oh, he could do, like, the scary thing where he, like... I would strongly suggest that you play Automata by tomorrow. And then everyone's like,
Okay.
all right. Was the work done for Flight in the original zones connected to the plan to streamline the old quests, or were the two simply coincidentally linked? Yoshida says it wasn't a coincidence that the streamlining of A Realm Reborn's main scenario and enabling Flight in A Realm Reborn were released at the same time. However, truthfully speaking, they started out as two completely separate tasks. The streamlining of A Realm Reborn's main scenario started quite some time ago. I remember having discussions with the scenario and quest teams when we were still developing Shadowbringers. A small group, including the quest team leads and our main scenario writers, worked through a lot of analytics to decide the overall direction of the adjustments. Once we decided to proceed, the team would work on the content whenever they could find time between patch and expansion development tasks. On top of that, debugging the updated content involved a massive amount of resources, so having factored that into our calculations, we targeted patch 5.3 as the release. So, when you think about it, from start to finish, it took over a year to make those adjustments. During this time, I also consulted the development team on the possibility of bringing flying to A Realm Reborn zones, initially envisioning this to coincide with a future expansion release. Oh! However, the level design group lead and the staff from the background team told me it would be near impossible to accomplish that feat while simultaneously working on an expansion. While I was a bit disheartened, and initially I thought adding flying might be too difficult after all, I realized what they actually meant was that if we were going to add flying to these areas, we should do it now. Oh yeah, oh shit, no, god, I scrolled. Good lord. Oh no. Yeah.
That was actually very encouraging.
Yes, that was actually very encouraging. The background team was trying to tell me that an expansion involves creating large, brand new areas, and that would overlap with their tasks related to adding flight. Sorry, I've completely lost what I'm saying. And that would overlap with their tasks related to adding flight. Working simultaneously on these two tasks would not be feasible. However, and similar to the A Realm Reborn story overhaul, it was not impossible to utilize the time between major updates to chip away at both implementing the necessary changes and testing them, and once completed, it could be released as a single package. I asked the sound team for their cooperation as well in the project, and we were at a point where we could begin right after Shadowbringers had been completed. Having seen the bigger picture, we set our target for patch 5.3 not only to be the conclusion of Shadowbringers, but also an update that would help bring in new players in a big way. Setting this plan into motion, it was not a coincidence that we greatly expanded the free trial at this time as well. All of this was part of a larger plan. As a final note, flying in the Realm Reborn zones took about 9 months of steady work before its release. Like a baby!
Yes, I'm sure Yoshi-P said that part too.
Yeah.
I wonder what the average amount of hours spent on it would have been. Would it have been like solid work spent on it by a select number of people, or would it have been like very like spread out over periods of time when they were available?
It definitely sounds like more was spread out with Georgi's frozen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Give him a little poke.
Boop. Boop. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I think it sounds like they were describing as the work just kind of being spread out in between other tasks. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you had some kind of fucking Trello board or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's impressive though. They did a lot, and flying in a Realm Reborn is still kind of weird that it happened.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah. I still
Every time.
walk around like an idiot, not flying in the Realm Reborn zones. Yeah. All right. The changes made to Monk. Here's the Monk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The changes made to Monk are lighter, but there's talk about changing it further in a future patch. Is this meant to be a large redesign, like for Machinist, or something smaller in scope, more like Ninja in patch 5.1? Yoshida says, before diving into the question, I wanted to say that I don't consider the adjustments made to Ninja smaller in scope. We did try to keep the gameplay as close as possible to what it was previously, so while it might seem like not much had changed, in actuality we rebuilt the basic system of the job. I think the development team's perspective of Ninja was that it was a pretty large-scale change. Now with the Machinist, since the mechanics and playstyle changed, it might feel like the changes are more significant. As for how, as to where we'll land with Monk, I don't think I can say what the player impression will be in terms of scale just yet. I don't want speculations to go on too far from anything I say here and cause any problems down the line, but what I can say for now is that we are significantly changing internal processing for the job, and the work the development team is putting in is no small order. They're working hard towards the finished product. If you could please be patient for just a while longer. Sounds...
Any predictions for Monk?
That would require me to understand how Monk works.
Yeah, I've recently leveled it to 80, and I'm still not sure what I've been doing. I guess...
Okay.
I don't know. Is it for... I don't know.
Well, there's the Grease Lightning trait that they've talked about before.
Yes, right.
Of just making it a trait, which I think would be fun, but it would be nice. Well, they have to give it something else then, because I kind of feel like a big part of Monk was keeping your stacks.
Keeping up Grease Lightning, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really significant change to the playstyle of Monk if they made it just a trait that upgrades as you level, rather than something that you have to maintain.
Yeah.
Maybe
I feel as if they'd have to add something else instead, function as something to maintain.
Maybe they'll focus more on the chakra and make that a bit less RNG and dependent on your party.
Yeah.
Is that what I would say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it kind of has the dancer kind of effect of like, you have your partner and they give you procs randomly or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be more about building that up yourself with one of the 3 fucking combo chains or whatever. I don't know.
Because right now the only way to build up chakra is like through the Brotherhood thing, right? And and that's it. And then how do I build up? I never got how I did. I probably should have spent some time reading the traits. Who reads?
I'm sorry to say I don't play a lot of Monk, but it is. I think it's mostly RNG. Pseudo RNG or whatever, but it's out of your control basically.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know.
I felt
that's
like.
My guess.
So here's how I felt when I played Monk. Chakra on screen.
Yes.
I bonk boss, and then I have 1 orb. Oh, how did I get that? Don't know. Just happened. I use Brotherhood. It's full. I can use cool thing. Brotherhood over. Oh, sad, because now I don't get orb. Oh, got an orb.
Accurate description of playing Monk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can charge it. People are saying in chat, you can charge it up with that.
Oh, that's true. You can meditate
skill.
or whatever. Yeah.
And Brotherhood too. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That was just a guess, and from what I've heard from people who play Monk, maybe they'll make the chakra something a bit more.
Okay. Last question. Last but not least, has the team seen the outpouring of fan emotion and praise from the content of this patch's story? What has the reaction been to this eternally? Yoshida says our
Internally?
What did I say? Did I not read it right? What did I say? What has the reaction been to this internally? What did you say internally, Georgi?
Because it sort of sounded like you said eternally.
Oh, no, internally. Yoshida says, our project I love that you just went quiet. I thought everything had just stopped working. Our project managers gather comments from players around the world, and our community teams also share reports with feedback and sentiment as well. Members of the development and operations teams themselves look at their social feeds and Reddit as well, and of course they are very happy. We always take these reactions as encouragement, and we plan to take you all to an even grander story.
Yes. Our podcast better be in those community feedbacks. We have very important...
Yeah, like that.
I can't say that.
Like that monk feedback I just gave.
Yeah.
We give great feedback for jobs we don't play.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
And that's on that.
That's a speaker's staple. Right. Well, that's the interview. Pretty good. It's nothing, no breaking news in this one, but God, I just realized how many of the next the next few interviews of Yoshi-P, or all future interviews of Yoshi-P, are gonna be a little bit of 14 and then just 16.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose him. It's like we're the first child, and then he's having another child that he's getting more attention to.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna feel inferior.
But then remember, eventually, it'll go back to 14. Once 16 is out, and it's been out for a while, he'll slowly come back. Well, either that, or he just leaves 14.
And then we get a new dad.
Yeah, we'll get a new dad.
Mr. Ozma will become our dad.
Oh.
No. Oh, actually, Mr. Ozma's fine. I thought you said, for a second, I processed that as Mr. Atman. I was like, no, I don't want Mr. Atman to be our new dad.
I don't know who would take over if Yoshi-P left. Because my thought was, I said this before, I can never remember his name. We have like I don't know if he ever, assistant director. He's now the director of 16.
Mm.
So, well, he could come back after 16 is done and be director of 14, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel as if Yoshi-P is the one that's more likely to come back.
Yeah, I think so. Or there's always Tanaka. Let's give him a call.
When you said that. Just...
Why not? Let's give him a call.
See what old dad is up to.
Okay. Right. I finally, a blessed time, we can actually read some mug mail today.
Oh my God! We
yes,
got 30 minuten.
Yeah. We have 30 minuten. That means we can actually read through quite a lot, hopefully, mug mail, so we can catch up. Mug mail time.
Yeah.
First one here from Giltia. Hello, speakers. First time sender. Hope you're doing well. I have a theory, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Towards the end of Stormblood, the Imperials abandon Alighieri, and we easily take it over. They were setting up a trap, but let's ignore that for now. The game then plays triumphant music, and it's regarded as an achievement for the Resistance in their effort to push back the Garleans. In the latest Sorrow of Werlet, we are met with a similar situation, but the music now gives us a sense of eeriness and unease. This reminded me of another title in this series, which I believe could give us a clue of where things are heading. Okay, spoilers for 15. It's on screen already, so...
Further than Rollo ever made into the game. Further than Rollo ever made into the game.
Who cares?
Well, Titan does suck, but that doesn't mean the whole game sucks.
Okay, well, Okay. When the Chocobros reach the capital of Niflheim Empire, they find it empty and devoid of life before being attacked by a legion of demons. As we progress further, we find out there actually are the citizens of Graelia turned into demons by the this means nothing to me. Starscourge, and this was the antagonist's plan all along. Now I believe. Oh God. I believe when we arrive in the Garlean capital, does the capital have a name yet?
Garlemald.
I think it's just Garlemald, yeah. We'll find it in a similar state. Here's why.
Really?
Well, here we go. Xenos is now in charge, and he does not care at all for human life, which is a good point. Fan Daniel, at it again, with the white robes. He's already been compared to Kefka and Joker, both of which would slaughter a city without a second thought. True. We do not know the Unsundred's goals, but it's safe to assume they don't care about the rejoining as much as Elidibus and Emmet Selk, and so would not care as much about preserving the integrity of the source. I believe Fan Daniel could use the people as fodder for some arcane ritual to do whatever it is he wants to do, or to turn them into monsters. Into monsters we have to kill just to cause as much pain and suffering as possible. Or Xenos could go on a killing spree for the thrill of the hunt. That could give us a reason to hate Xenos or just feel anything towards him at all. Dude's boring. Most of all, I don't think it makes sense to arrive in an intact Garlemald, as we are not liberating it like in Stormblood. We can't just roll in like, yo, we're deposing your ruler. Honestly, I just want Luciel Stradamus to sign off my theory so it comes true. I hope you have a good rest of stream and good night day for Georgi. Kiss, kiss. Yes, for those that didn't know, it's very early/late for Georgi. I think most people know now. What time is it, Georgi?
6:30 a.m.
Beautiful.
Oh, disgusting.
This is a very interesting theory.
It's possible.
I'm struggling with, having Garlemald just being a place we can enter, and it'll be just all the Garleans will be like, "Hey, dude, welcome to Garlemald."
Would you rather the dungeon then?
No.
Well,
For Garlemald?
as far as the story is concerned, they've completely eliminated the Popularis. So even the side that would have been welcoming to us doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And their emperor does like to just kill at random. So
does he though? I feel as if he only likes to kill things that are worth killing.
Well, he did kill. Well, depend. I guess Popularis was worth killing. For him.
Did he kill the Popularis?
Unclear.
No, I don't think that was him. I think that was just Varys.
Themselves? No, sorry, not the Popular. Who was dead in the throne room?
That's a good question. Who was dead in the throne room? I feel as if those were people that were just like
usurpers
against him.
There's just people in the civil. So exactly. So he just kills. What if people go against their emperor? Are they worth killing?
Yeah,
then?
if people who are against him, but I feel as if most of the population just is indifferent or not willing to stand up to him.
Yeah, I guess.
You think maybe they'll do something with because I feel like they haven't talked about it much in a long time. That about the whole Garleans not being able to use ether really.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'll make they'll be like, oh, because they can't use ether, they make a great conduit for this sacrifice to summon an unholy beast from the beginning of time or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that could play a part somehow.
Yeah.
It's possible that some of their experiments to try and get Garleans to have ether are what causes them to transform into monsters.
Yeah, possible.
There's like a gas they spread, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
The Garlean inhales this gas, they get the echo, but they also become super evil and strong.
Yeah.
I don't think he would want to. I don't think Xenos would allow a gas like that to exist, considering how against he was Black Rose.
Oh, that's right. He was against Black Rose, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's true. Well, the gas doesn't. This made-up gas, doesn't kill them technically, right? Turns them
It
into
just makes you
monsters.
give them super soldiers.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe because
Yeah.
they don't have ether, they're closer to the ancients than others.
I don't know. I am intrigued by this though. This is this is a theory I haven't thought about. Mostly because I haven't finished 15, so I know nothing about this first part of this Mogmail. Is just gibberish to me. But yeah, this is a good theory.
Imagine if he still had Aulus with him to help him with these kinds of experiments. Imagine if Aulus wasn't murdered as a mid boss of a dungeon.
They have Tojo.
Also, yeah, they do still have Hojo. I was about to say, what happened to that traitorous Elazin that was helping Varus?
Yeah.
Did he get murdered with all the other people that were in that throne room?
It's convenient to keep him, though. He might have spared him for future.
It is convenient to keep him, but remember, he was in charge of the Black Rose project.
Yeah, that's true.
He's still wearing that little outfit. No, sorry. I was thinking of the wrong person. Never mind.
Okay. Wearing that little outfit.
I was thinking of the Ellison that was from fucking Ivalice, that the circus dude. You know, the spy, you know? You know?
That wasn't an Ellison though. That was a Hyur.
Yeah.
That was a Hyur wearing the Ellison outfit.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah,
okay, maybe that's what fucked me up. I always just thought he was an Ellison.
Because
yeah,
a lot of the people in that trip wear the Ellison outfit, even though they're not Ellison.
Yep.
It's fucking Garleans, they just steal Ellison clothing.
Yep. I am interested. The Fandaniel thing and the Unsundered thing is very interesting to me because they don't have the same goal as the Sundered ones. Wait, what is Fandaniel?
No.
He's a Sundered.
He's Sundered.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Unsundered are like that.
The Sundered don't have the same goal as the Unsundered, where they don't really care about the greater goal. Because
I don't know if that applies.
Because they had their bosses dictated the greater goal, and they are gone.
Yes, I think that might apply to some of the Sundered now. I don't know if it was necessarily the case for all of them, because I feel as if at least Nabrialis and Ikiorm were.
Well, remember they had bosses then. There was a hierarchy. The hierarchy has collapsed.
Ikiorm, in addition to being close to La Habrea, in our current timeline, it is suggested that Ikiorm was close to La Habrea back prior to the Sundering. So I would at least think that Ikiorm might have been interested.
If you had like if you knew them in the maybe, but I feel like the greater most of the Sundered now feel like I feel like that was the reaction from Fandaniel as well in the cutscene he's revealed in. Is like he's free from the shackles. He can just cause chaos and mayhem now because his bosses aren't watching anymore.
I feel that way about Fandaniel because Fandaniel's characterized as insane. Yeah, I don't have enough information about the other.
That's the intriguing part for me because all of the Sundered Ascians that we've known about have been in the shadows because we don't really see them very often. Well, especially in the last two expansions at least. And now they can come out and just fucking cause mayhem. Yeah, so maybe that will affect Garlemald in some way. An empire, remember, founded just to sow chaos and discord.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah, that is rough. All right. Thank you, Giltia. Next,
Thank you.
Mogmail. from Genova Tia, Twintania. Hello,
Lots of
speakers.
Tias today.
Yes. Hello, speakers. Since we can see the G Warrior and it's I'll restart. Since we can go see the G Warrior and it is presented in a way as in many other Gundam-style games and franchises, do you think it looked like we could customize it? Maybe there is content in the future that deals exclusively in mecha-style things. What kind of things would you hope to see them used for? A battle on the moon against Big Bad Asian?
Could you imagine the final dungeon of 6.0 being like exclusively in your mech? Every job gets an exclusive mech that lets them do their job, but in a mech.
Yeah.
I don't know why I hadn't thought of this before. Because of the fact that there's too much work put into the G Warrior for it to be used exclusively in one instance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that it will be relevant to the next version of Rival Wings?
You know what? I was gonna say maybe we'll see it in Bajja.
That's also possible.
That is possible. Yes. It's sort of touching the same content almost. So
a little cross pollination.
Yeah.
Get some G Warriors everywhere. Put some in the MSQ, in the Relic, and whirl it.
Yeah.
Put everywhere.
I can see that happening. It would be a shame. I mean, they're definitely going to use it again. I mean, it's clearly a system that they have spent a lot of time on. They're not going to just use it once and not use it again.
You know what?
Yeah.
There is the Nier raid too, because the little combat suits they use are a pretty important thing in Nier.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be a short bit where you use it.
Yeah.
I'm not. See, I'm concerned about it being used in other content that's besides PvP because they set you up. They throw you into things in PvP without any explanation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about it appearing in other content without setting it up beforehand. Because in Whirl It, they have the training exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Would they have to have another training exercise if they were to use it in either Nier or Bozja?
I mean, they've done it before. Remember Alexander? They just gave you the fucking little goblin mech and like figure it out.
Yeah.
Just what do these skills do?
That's
Which
true,
one do you use?
but
figure it out.
But it wasn't like as that was just like the duty actions, like the hotbar that pops up, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
This like the mech has like its own like hotbar shit. Your hotbar disappears.
The mech has like 8 functions, whereas the Godwalker only has like 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they could easily do a training one for the Nier one.
They can do like a quick
say.
one. They can do. Oh God.
Like. I don't know.
Oh, they can bake it into the quest. Yeah.
Yeah. Like just before, be like, hey, we fixed up the flight unit.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. And they can
Maybe
just
you
make
use
it
later.
short.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we can customize it. That is, we are in a spaghetti world, and I don't think we can add
I could see maybe painting it.
That would be very cool, but I don't.
I want a hot pink G Warrior.
Well, I mean, they have surprised us before, so maybe they could do that. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm a fan of all these theories. I want them to use it, at least the I don't know, some kind of mech suit more. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I like Gundam.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. Okay. Thank you, Genova. Next Mogmail from a curious person, username Low Fat Buddha from Sargatanas. Soft spoilers below / edit as you will like. I haven't removed anything. I've kept everything in here. Spoiler alert. I've been a recent fan and have been catching up on your recent podcast and well-crafted 1.0 video series. I've recently finished 5.3, but I still feel at a loss for truly understanding the backstory of Zodiac and Hydaelyn. There seems to now be, as of 5.3, a direct connection between the Convocation/Asians, the 12 Old Gods, Azem and Azim Step, anyone? And the shattered, sundered souls of the ancients and the historically canon Warrior of Light and Warrior of Darkness of the different realms/stars. All that being said, I recently ran through the coils of Bahamut and noticed something strange. We know that he is regarded as an elder primal due to dying but being resummoned by Tiamat. But is it just that simple? I noticed something strange about his body during the raid. Inside of his chest resides a large purple crystal that seems too familiar. Furthermore, during the fight with his soul, Bahamut Prime, the arena that you fight in has a see-through floor in which you can see several dark purple crystals floating about. I'm not sure what this could mean. Bahamut equals Zodiac? I know the dev team have stated that they have not mapped out the larger story elements of future patches, but looking back, I can't help but see foreshadowing and hints in previous patches. And with Shadowbringers, I've felt that the story has been specifically paying off story elements introduced in 1.0 and 2.0. So my question is, with a stronger connection between the Convocation, the 12, and the history of Eorzea, do you see there being elements of 1.0 and 2.0 that haven't been resolved that you would tie into the resolution of Zodiac versus Hydaelyn?
The Dragon Rock.
That's not getting resolved.
No, Amber Scale
Whatever.
Rock.
What was it called?
Amber
Dragon
Scale.
Scale Rock?
Yeah, Amber Scale.
Amber Scale, right.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
still there.
it's still there. They
Still there.
They tied a
Pretty-
quest to it in The Realm Reborn.
Is it a job quest or is it just a?
I was hoping you
Side
weren't going to
quest.
ask because I can't. It's so long ago. I don't remember. If it
Yeah.
was, is it even tied to? Is it actually a White Mage quest or a Conjurer quest?
I thought it was a white mage quest, but I'm not 100% sure.
It is a job.
Okay.
Okay.
The only quest I feel like I've done even around there is a quest to kill some plasmoids. That's it.
Yeah. It's a job quest that I feel like is somewhat connected to the story in 1.0. Yeah. But yeah, it's still a mystery and not touched again. I kind of like that it's like, yeah, they abandoned that shit, but it's still there. Like the rock is just there. So yeah.
And what else is there to say about it anyway? It's a fucking haunted rock.
It had a very interesting backstory. Like, and the fact that we will never learn that story is because we can only assume that a dragon protected a boy in the forest and the elementals turned him into Amber Scale. But what happened before then? But because the kid doesn't remember anything because they gave him Green Wrath or whatever, and they've literally kidnapped him. He just lives there now.
I love some mysteries existing in the world.
Yeah.
As long as they're not too tied into the overall fabric of the realm, like Gelmora is. That I don't like being a mystery.
No.
And that shit's everywhere too.
Yeah.
And you can still see a lot of it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it is interesting. Yeah, go on.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just the purple thing inside Bahamut. It's a Realm Reborn lore. It's been a while. I believe that's just the primal heart. And they make a big point of showing that in the Louis Soir is a badass cutscene, where he goes through him, but you can see that purple heart still being intact, which is why he was able to rebuild himself later, because he didn't kill him. He just because he didn't hit the heart. I think that's essentially the story. I don't know if the color purple back then was like had anything to do with Zodiac. Like,
are you sure?
For Bahamut.
Remember for Bahamut, I agree. Because we did Zodiac being purple is set up immediately
we see
after
the
Realm
shot of
Reborn
him.
is finished.
Yeah. We see the purple crystal.
Maybe if it is maybe Asian or maybe Zodiac related, Maybe Allergan's tapped into some fucking secret shit.
That is
Some
interesting,
Ascian
Rollo,
shit.
because we know, I mean, post Shadowbringers, we know that was what the ancients were doing. They made essentially primals.
Mm-hmm.
And primals were summoned with the help of Ascians. Ascians taught them how to do it. So I can see the connection that the summoned primals have purple hearts. If that is somehow linked to Zodiac. Okay, it gets complicated when you start thinking like that, but
Maybe they seeded the purple heart with an aspect of Zodiac.
Mhm.
And if we bring enough Elder Primals together, that's another way to make Zodiac come back.
uh-huh.
Because they've spread him.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Yes, go
do
on.
we know which Ascian helped Tiamat resummon Bahamut? I don't remember if it's mentioned in that part of the story.
I don't think she meant. I don't think. No.
Well, it was just Alligans in general doing that. So you could say it was just Emmett Selk, right?
No, it wasn't
No.
because Bahamut was summoned when the Mericidians were still trying to fight back.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was misremembering.
Yeah, that was like their weapon to win. No, I don't. I think she just says Ascian. Yeah, I don't think there's any specific name.
She's still just chilling there.
Yeah.
She's just.
She could escape whenever she wants, but she's punishing herself.
Yep.
This is my life now.
Yep. Any other elements that hasn't been resolved?
Let's see.
Well, I'll bring up the classic thing under the lake, which I feel like the story might be going there. I feel like they might.
I just don't.
We've like when we read Tales from the Shadows, they're bringing more, like there's more Dona again being brought into this. Like it's significant in that story as well. I don't know. It feels like there is something about, and I love that because Mordona, if we do go back, it's such a good plot twist because it's always been there and no one's been like questioning like what is this place actually.
Just worry more about the giant Midgard Somber.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah.
You can see him. I know this isn't 1.0 or 2.0. I still think the Anti-Tower and the Ethereal Sea is going to get some play.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
I wouldn't say it's unresolved, but man, like that.
It's not unresolved, but it's like, well, it kind of is unresolved because we learn about how it's like piercing into the Ethereal Sea, and then we do nothing about no further investigation. Are we just gonna leave that? That's not tickling anyone's fancy. We don't want to keep trying that.
6.0 venture into the Ethereal Sea.
Too dangerous for the Sharlayans, Lakil.
Yeah, but
we're come back to the AOZ right now.
We're special. We can get in. We will win.
We're special, but like we've got other priorities.
That's true. But if Hydaelyn is bad, then we go in.
But we don't think that yet.
No, we don't know. That's also a thing. I can't think of.
To be honest, I feel as if the Anti-Tower and Sharlayans in general are more fodder for 8.0 than not 8.0, 7.0 than next expansion.
I could see that maybe.
Wait, what?
I feel as if we've got
which one? Anti-Tower?
Yeah, the Anti-Tower and Sharlayans in general, because I just don't see how. Because I feel as if we involve Sharlayans next expansion, we'd need to go to Sharlayan. I just don't know how we'd have time to combine that alongside entering Garlemald or entering Ilsabad.
That's true.
What if they turn
Yeah.
Charlene into the new like tome hub for 6.0?
Yeah.
Like Yulmore or Ralger's Reach.
Just all of Charlian is just one hub.
Well, you can go to one tiny place in there. And
Yeah. That's all we ever get of Charlian.
Yeah.
Well, Charlian isn't very big. It's a very small island, so it wouldn't have a lot of zones, I think, in terms of like content for an expansion. So
It's about as big as Hingashi, isn't it?
yeah, I think.
And also, but remember this. Val is a small island.
That's true. They claim
And we got-
that it's very small, but that is.
We got 4 massive instanced zones out of it.
That's true. They were stretching that a bit. It was difficult to buy that as a very small island. Yeah. Charlian, by the way, is also like one of those parts of the 1.0 and A Realm Reborn mysteries. Like Charlian was talked about in 1.0 as well. I mean, it was 1.0 lore, although they did call it a kingdom back then. A crumbling kingdom, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's get some drama over there. Some real political drama.
So I mean, they could if they're gonna combine. Maybe they'll need help from the Charlians if there's a sound coming from Silvertear Lake, for instance, something like that. Because yeah,
Man, where's our next big hub city going to be?
I mean,
Thavnir?
I've been theorizing. Yeah, that it would be Thavnir for a while.
or Razat Han.
Razat Hands.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's probably where we have to go to get to. Well, we can go. No, because that's Gimlet Dark and stuff. We probably can't.
Well, we've got
cross.
3 entry points into Garlemald at this point.
Yeah.
Between Turncliffe,
Yeah.
Bosja, and because Razat Han is the way that Estinian?
Yes. It's because of
Is it
the
the one that's past the broom, right? No,
Broom?
the burn.
the burn.
I keep doing it. I keep fucking doing it. The burn.
Yeah. Wait, what are you talking about now?
Is Razat the one that's past?
Razat Han is on the island of Thavnir.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's like a little bit northwest of Evilis?
I don't remember the map of Aeris or of the 3 great continents right now. Isn't it like further south?
Is it?
I think so. Isn't it like well, this doesn't make I'm trying to draw a map in the air.
They should remove the clouds so I can see the map finally. How about that?
I'm going to Google it.
We're going to get that soon.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to remove those clouds soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like if you have here's Eorzea.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Othard.
Okay.
Thavnir is here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed that, all your listeners.
Love how you just tickled.
I tickled Thavnir. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. Thank you, Low Fat Buddha. Next
Thank you.
question.
Thank you. Next question.
Next Mogmail. Sorry, wrong set.
No?
Wrong.
Are you sure?
Are we not done?
The time.
Oh, my computer covered the time.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, because that was the end of the show. Thanks for watching. That threw me off.
I'm sorry.
That's the end of the show. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat. If you want to join the Discord server, if you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Send us mogmail, speakersxiv.com/mogmail. Everything else is pointless. All right, goodbye.
Bye.